Hello! Today we're going to talk a little bit about how you would add a schedule behavior support in the Tobii Dynavox Compass software. In order to add or utilize any of the behavior supports, you have to be using a level 2, which means if you go into your settings and click on levels, you'll see right here I'm on a level 2 right now, so I'd have to be in 2, 3, 4, or 5 in order to utilize the behavior supports. And I would also need in my topics to be sure that my behavior supports are enabled. But today we're going to address a little bit more of what you would do if you need to utilize one of those behavior supports and you have somebody who is possibly a level 1, which means that they have a smaller grid size. I'm going to apply these changes here. So right here, it would be our 3x3 grid. You'll notice if I go into my topics, I do not have a support button listed anywhere on here. So if I wanted to utilize a behavior support, I would first have to decide where I want to locate it. Do I want it within the topics, or am I trying to make an overall schedule that would be applied in many different situations and that maybe that would change daily? That's what we're going to address today, because the tools will be similar no matter where you are locating the device that you want to, or locating the behavior support that you want to access. In this scenario, we're going to use the dashboard button, and we're going to replace it with a schedule button. So our dashboard button may be hidden. For some people, when they're starting out, they hide the dashboard because it gives access to some of the settings that we don't necessarily want our emergent users having access to at this point. So if you don't see that on your device, go into Modify, and it will bring up all the available buttons. So it may look a little bit more like this to start out. And if I go back into Modify and select it, you can see it's kind of grayed out there. And I just need to come over here to my Miscellaneous tab and unhide it. Now what we're going to do is essentially change that button to go somewhere other than into our dashboard. Now before you ever program or link a button to go elsewhere, you have to make sure you have a page that is already set for the action to navigate to. So pretty much when I hit this button, I want to have the page set that I already want it to navigate to. So what I'll do first is go into my settings and hit Page Creator. In Page Creator, it'll bring up all the different varieties of pages that you can make. I'm going to go into my Supports folder because we are looking for a behavior support, and this will bring up the various different behavior supports that are available. You have everything from a basic first then schedule to maybe a mini schedule, just our 4 quick steps, a social narrative where we'd go from one box to the other explaining what or how we would behave socially, or give us an idea of a more progressive story or schedule to our day, or we even have a checkmark schedule, which is what I think we'll use today. So I'm going to select my 9-button checkmark schedule, and I'm going to come up here and say I want to create it. Let's give this a name. I'm going to simply call it schedule. I'll save that. And this will automatically take me into the editor. The editor uses the same tools you utilize when you are modifying a button out on one of your topic screens or in your quick fires. If I click on the button I want to modify, I just need to click on this little red dot, and it'll bring up the same menu that we're used to seeing anytime we're editing a button. So for here, let's just give an idea. First, I need to read my book. Let's select a quick icon, hit select up here, and let's add another step here. I need to work on my fine motor. We're going to do some beads. There we go, that's a good picture. And get the idea. We could essentially fill all of these in with the specifics that we would utilize in our schedule, and we could easily switch these out in the morning if we work on different things throughout the day. There we go. So just to give you an idea of how this would work, we've modified all of those. I'm now going to exit out. It'll ask if I want to save my changes. We'll say yes. So right now I am on my schedule page, which will essentially tell me my schedule, and then I can check them off as I do them and clear them when I'm all done. Now you'll notice that right now I can't get out of this page. That's because we exited from our page editor. Therefore, it doesn't have an idea of where it needs to go back to. So what I'm going to do is come into my settings again, and in Page Browser, it will let me browse through all of my available page sets, or pages that are in this page set. I'm just going to go to my home page and say that I want to open it. So now we're back where we belong. My next step is going to be to connect that schedule page that we made to the dashboard button. And all I'm going to do that is hit my edit button and modify, highlight the button I want. Let's change our icon here. Let's see, there's a picture of a schedule there. And down here in my actions, I'm going to click on that, and I am going to change what it opens. I want it to now open the schedule. And if you missed that, because I did it rather quickly, right here it already says it's going to open a page and it's going to open the dashboard. I still want it to open a page, but I just want it to open a different one. So I'm going to click on these words here, and it will let me browse through the available pages. So I'll check my schedule and hit select. And then I can select done. Then when I hit this one, it will take me into my schedule. Now one last thing you want to do is make sure your go back button works. So right now, that go back button is not going back to our home page like we'd like. I can simply come over here and hit my modify button. And again, I would end up changing the actions. So I'm no longer going to be opening up the supports menu or the topics because I don't have my behavior supports in a normal location. I've kind of created my own way to integrate them into a 3x3 grid. But I just want it to go back to my home page. So I'm going to type in page over here. Just type in home and see what it brings up. It has open home pages in action. So I've now deleted my other two actions and added open home page. I can select done. And now it'll take us back where it needs to be. So there is a brief breakdown of how you would create a schedule button or any other behavior support and add it within your Compass software when you're using a level 1 3x3 grid. And you could create that type of button anywhere that you think would be applicable. If you want it to be bubbles specific, maybe you put it in place of the topic words or in place of one of your other available buttons. And that would be where you'd put your topic specific supports. Hope that helps. Give me a call if you have any questions. Thanks.